and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I am back at it, responding to your comments. This is like one of my favorite parts of my day. This comes from this is an older video, how to make flowers last longer. So I used peroxide and bat guano and fish manure to make a superfood for my garden. Where do you source these ingredients? Peroxide, I'm well versed with peroxide, but bat guano, where do you find that? Is that something you need to harvest? I have heard of plant fertilizers that are made from like, fish manure, or they're derived from fish remnants. I've actually used that as fertilizer before. I don't know if I just got better this year or what, but I have a forest in my garden, in my yard. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad your plants are thriving. Good job, Timmy. The peroxide kills the bacteria, making food for the plants. Man, nature is rad as AF. I was almost gonna say it, but I believe that. Nature's Metal, that Instagram channel. There's so many crazy things that nature will do. But I like that, peroxide in your plants. Peroxide kills the bacteria, making food for the plants. But isn't the bacteria good? Maybe I'm not understanding that correctly, but that sounds good. You make your own fertilizer, that is very cool. This is from a video, how to preserve your vegetables. Roxlaw, I think, is the name of the person who submitted this. That's how I'm gonna read it. A lot of times when I'm trying to guess or say the names of the people who posted it, it's like when you read license plates where you're like trying to figure it out, It's like somebody has a cool custom license plate and you're like, I'm trying to figure out what it says. It's like decoding a message. So I had a little home garden that I ended up tossing a lot of our produce because I harvested everything at the same time. Okay, and I couldn't eat all of it, and I tried to freeze it and it never tasted right. This has been amazing, thank you. Now I just need a video on the best ways to preserve different herbs. Okay, this is cool. So yes, different vegetables, different herbs need to be preserved in slightly different ways. So I actually have a video on how to preserve herbs. You can actually, before they go bad, chop them up, put them in an ice cube tray and preserve them with oil. Just cover them with some olive oil. That's a good way to preserve herbs, especially in the freezer. The oil will kind of stabilize the herbs, and then you just throw that cube in the skillet, over low heat, melt it, and that infused herb oil you can saute with your dish. So that's a good way. The other way I just recently did is you can actually dry your herbs, make your own dried herbs in the microwave. It is super easy. It's really fun to do. And you don't need a dehydrator. You don't need to turn on your oven on the lowest setting. It's great with rosemary, kind of more woody, heartier herbs. Drying out your herbs is gonna be the best way, or doing the freezer trick. You just need to stabilize them in some oil because you shouldn't freeze your herbs just raw, just put them in a bag and freeze them. They won't last that way. Preserving your herbs, microwave's a great technique for certain woodier, heartier herbs, and then you can also try the freezing it in oil, little ice cubes, you can throw those in the skillet, it's great. This is from the video, making homemade pumpkin seeds. Put all of it in a jar and shake it. It's just like saving seeds from your garden. That's really cool. This is from Da Banana 4171. This is from another video, 6 hacks to carve your pumpkin for Halloween. Halloween's one of my favorite holidays, and when it comes to pumpkin, I love different methods of pumpkin carving. I love the pumpkin seeds. Endless variety, endless creativity. I'd say take the extra pumpkin you scooped out and toss it in your garden. But even after sifting out all the seeds, I now have 30 pumpkin plants. So I have heard that your mileage may vary when you're trying, say you get produce from the store, just planting the seeds may not always work. I think there's something having to do with how they're either grown or transported, that all seeds from all vegetables may not grow, but I think pumpkins would be great. Yeah, try to grow a pumpkin or two. I actually did a video. I feel like I keep saying that. Maybe I'll find another way to say that. Anytime there's a comment, I was like, well, actually, I have a video about how to grow pumpkins. So next year you can have your own homegrown pumpkins versus, so no, what would be a cool, fun project is to grow your own pumpkin for Halloween. So you'll have to check the climate, the ideal planting range. What's really cool is just go to a simple store, go to a simple plant store or even your Home Depot or Lowe's. The packets tell you when to plant them and how long they take to grow. So you just need to give yourself a few months head start and you should be able to carve your own pumpkins, have your own pumpkins for your porch. And what's really cool about pumpkins, if you start early enough and grow those pumpkins, it's gonna be so affordable. Pumpkins themselves for Halloween are pretty cheap. But if you're doing like a whole porch setup, if you have a bunch of family members that you want to carve different pumpkins, growing your own could be the way to go, and you don't need a huge garden. You do need a little bit of space. Pumpkins can grow pretty big, but you can do it out of a container. I've seen methods where you can grow your own pumpkins out of a container. You don't even need to plant them in the ground, have a whole field. You just have to look on the packets, make sure they're the right size, make sure you have the right growing conditions, and try it out. But yeah, you put the whole pumpkin in the garden and it turned into 30 pumpkins. That's kind of amazing. Here's a comment from the video, "Stop doing this to your berries." This is from Craig. Thanks, Craig, for your comment. "I've been eating unwashed berries for 70 years. Haven't we all? All of our parents, people of a certain generation. We don't wash nothing. We don't eat organic. Everything's from a can." I'm not saying that. I'm not putting a judgment on you. I'm just saying it's funny. Try to keep in mind that we evolved with the rest of nature and are very well adapted to it. People who try to sterilize their environment and everything in it are doing themselves no favors. I do believe this. I like to keep a clean and tidy household, clearly, from problem solved. But that's very true. You don't want everything, no bacteria, no dirt. I'm definitely had the grandfather who was just like, pick it up off the floor and eat it. A little dirt don't hurt kind of thing. So I definitely do believe that. If you try to keep things too sterile, too clean, I think the thing we're trying to do now is combat kind of a lot of the stuff we can't control. So maybe there's the pesticides, the whatever. You know, you shouldn't drive yourself crazy or stress out. I think that's much more harmful for you, is to try and worry about everything. You just kind of have to find a good balance between doing what's safe and not stressing out. That's why I like natural solutions, really quick, easy vinegar or hydrogen peroxide wash for your fruits and vegetable. But I've even been known to like snack on a couple right out of the package after the grocery store before I even wash them. So do what works for you, but don't over stress about it, right? And here's the real caveat to think about when washing and cleaning your berries. It's really to make them last longer. There's mold, fungus, and bacteria, and that's not because to say it's bad to ingest that stuff. It's really to make your produce last longer. So if you find you go back in the refrigerator and your berries are, bad in a day or two and you haven't had a chance to eat them all, this is really a way to make them last longer by having them clean. The cleanliness is not really for consumption, it's really to get the most bang for your buck. How to wrap a gift. I love wrapping gifts. It's like my Zen garden. I love that. I love to build Legos. That's kind of like my Zen garden. There's a popular basketball player, I forget his name, but he always says, I don't play with Legos, I build Legos. It is very therapeutic. A lot of people do like the adult coloring books, puzzles, maybe it's your Zen garden, maybe it's wrapping gifts. I think everybody needs a creative outlet, something simple and routine to like take your focus off of the world and just focus on doing something fun that you like. So building Star Wars Lego sets is that for me. Although some hobbies take up more space than others, so your mileage may vary. Maybe I'll pick up knitting or something a little more contained. I don't even think knitting's contained. Anyways, thanks Cassandra. How to clean faucet heads. I feel like you're just reading Better Homes and Gardens magazine and are just filming what you read in the latest publication. Nicholas, I don't know the last time I read a Better Homes and Garden. Information doesn't just come from one person and that's the only source you get it to. We learn things, we figure things out, and we share it with the world, and those people share it with other people. So I feel like that's just part of the nature of this, part of the nature of business and information and helpful tips is we're sharing. We're a community of taking good tips and sharing it with each other, figuring out what works for us and sharing that with others. It's not 100% proprietary, but yes, not really Better Homes and Gardens, because I definitely have not read that magazine in a long, long time. But I appreciate your comment and thank you. Wow, this is an oldie but a goodie. How to remove red wine stains. Let me tell you, red wine is tough to get out, so you have to kind of use several different techniques. There's not just one easy fail-proof way to do it. So OxiClean. I love some OxiClean, and I want to do more cleaning with my OxiClean. I actually went on a hiatus from OxiClean in my laundry because I was trying to do very natural DIY homemade soaps, you know, homemade laundry detergent and all that. And then I kind of got away from that and just went back to like store brand, you know, like natural soaps or natural laundry detergents, enzyme detergents. So try different things and see what works for you. But yes, I have reincorporated OxiClean back into my laundry routine. Kept on my laundry shelf as my go-to stain remover. Must for any oxygen stains, plant-based berries, beets, grape juice, blood, hydrogen peroxide for blood. I did how to clean up blood video. Thank you for that, Strons. We had a donation. Raw meat or human. Okay, maybe we're dealing with some raw. I should tell that story. I'm gonna get through this comment and then I'm gonna tell that story. I keep getting distracted. Anything in the kitchen are garden stains. Garden stains too. I did a video on grass stains as well. That's one. Even if it's sat overnight or dried, half scoop in a dish pan and hot water dissolved powder. Soak item for a few minutes to an hour, so depending on how fresh the stain is. Works every time, won't harm colors, that's true, which is important when your clothing isn't all white tees. Yeah, garden stains, especially any dirt, whatever, do a soak, do some OxiClean soak. It should do you right, do you well. Thank you for the comment. Who is this? Seriously, really? 5413. Thank you for I like your name. But thank you for the comment, and yes, OxiClean, thank you for the inspiration. I might have to do some OxiClean tips and tricks. Cause yeah, it's a good cleaner, good booster, good stain remover. How to elevate your ramen. Recipe, vegetables. This guy, the whole garden it is. I like vegetables, what can I say? I like vegetables, I like herbs, I like flavor, you know? Some of us like to live wild. Some of us like to live simply. I choose the wild side, okay? Thank you to everyone who's left comments, and in the future, I can't wait to get to more. That was a lot, that was good. Was that good?